Good morning, good morning, good morning. I normally don't make videos this early, but we'll do it a little different today. So I was just over at UGC Flames channel. If you don't know who that is, check out his channel. It is a good channel. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I was listening to him talk about Mark Breland, and he said, maybe you should make a video about it. So here's the deal. He's got a very good channel. I love his channel. I've been on his platform multiple of times, talked on it multiple of times, and I don't have nothing against the dude. And this is the thing with anybody in general, and if you're grown, if you are grown, you should be this way. You're not always going to agree with people's opinions. But just because you don't agree with somebody's opinion doesn't mean that you don't like that person or still listen to that person or want to be around that person. And in this case, I disagree with a lot of what he was saying. And y'all might agree with him. So check out his live he did right before I did this video. So if y'all want to see what he had to say about it, y'all go check it out. Y'all may agree with him and disagree with me. I don't know. But here's my opinion. First things first. Everybody that's been with me from day one till now, from when I only had like 200 subs to almost 1,000 now, know that I don't make my videos about race. I don't entertain racism. And I will admit that I've had some racist comments left and I delete them. They don't even see the light of day on my comment section because they get deleted immediately. I never delete what people say unless they go that route. Then it just gets deleted and I block them from being able to see my content that I drop from there and on moving forward. So with that being said, I don't think this getting rid of Breland is a move based on race. I said watching the first fight with Tyson Fury, watching the second fight with Tyson Fury, I said that Breland needed to go a long time ago. And there was rumors, there's been rumors since the end of that second fight that he was going to part ways with Mark Breland. And this is my thing. This is what I look at, okay? And this is what somebody on his chat was trying to say. Is it that Deontay Wilder's too stubborn to listen? And that's why Mark can't get through with him? But here's my response to that. It does not matter. It does not matter how knowledgeable somebody is, okay? I could be the best mathematician in the world, but if I can't teach you math, then it does no good for me to be a teacher. I'm still the best mathematician in the world. It doesn't take away from what I am, but I'm obviously not a teacher if I can't teach rudimentary math to somebody. And that's the thing. Not everybody is a teacher. Not everyone has that ability to teach. It is a skill. You have to know how to get through somebody. And whether Mark Breland is the most knowledgeable trainer out there, it's irrelevant. Because if he can't translate it over to Deontay Wilder to where Deontay Wilder will either choose to listen or he just blatantly ignores what he's being told, then it's useless knowledge. If you cannot get that knowledge and transfer it to somebody else, then it's useless. It doesn't matter how much you know if you're trying to teach it and nobody will listen. That's it. So what you have to come to is you have to understand that you have got to get somebody that can get through to you, or people around you have to get somebody that they think can get through to you. What I saw was Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder won. Deontay Wilder lost 10 out of the 12 rounds. By default, I gave him the 2 rounds. He knocked down Tyson Fury because I always give the round to people that get knocked down. But I can say this. In boxing, there have been times when somebody gets knocked down by a flash knockdown, but because they control the action before the knockdown and they control the action after the knockdown, they make it an even round. In both the instances where Tyson Fury was knocked on his butt, he got up and dominated the rest of the round. Before he got knocked on his butt, he dominated the beginnings of the rounds. So my point is this. In my opinion, Tyson Fury should have won that first fight. Okay? They go back to the drawing board. They come back in round 2. Here we go. Fight number 2. They go at it. Deontay Wilder gets one-sided mauled. Like it's not even a competitive fight. He gets mauled from the beginning to the end till the towel comes in. So what you had there was he looked worse in the second fight than he did in the first fight, which means whatever he was learning in training camp, he was either A, not listening to, which was stated, or B, he was listening And he had a horrible camp strategically because it left him to get mauled. So do you want to stick it out for a third one with the same people around you and get 3 strikes and you're out? Because realistically, at his age, this is his last chance for a belt. If he loses this fight, unless somebody like AJ just really wants to fight him, or somebody like Dillian White, assuming Dillian White beats Povetkin in the next fight, just really wants to fight him, at his age, he'll probably never get another title shot unless he stays till he's 40, which Wilder has already talked about wanting to do other things like acting. So the likelihoods of him staying till he's 40 are slim to none. So what do you have to do then? You need to air out everybody around you. You need to get rid of the people around you because obviously you're not improving. You're honestly looking like you've digressed. You look like you're getting worse. And that's the thing with Wilder. Now, I don't know Wilder personally. I don't live with him. I'm not around him. I don't know his camp. I want to touch on something before I get to that, though. You know, the whole point of the video was, I think, that Black was trying to make was, and I'm not trying to make this about him. I'm just throwing his name out there because I was on his live, and that's why I made this video. But I do know it is a shitty thing to know that Mark Breland threw in the towel, and it seems like because he threw in the towel, he's being fired for saving Wilder. Now, is that the case? I don't know. It could be. It very well could be. Deontay Wilder might be so big-headed, so stubborn, that the whole reason why Breland's being fired is because he threw in the towel, is because Breland saved him from possibly life-threatening damage or at least an injury that could have stuck with him the rest of his life, aka brain damage, TBI. So that could very well be the reason. And if that is the true reason why he got fired, then that's a shitty one. And it's bad because you got rid of the only person who was looking out for your welfare, for your health, the only one that cared enough to see that there was no way. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're the biggest Deontay Wilder fanboy or what you are. There's no way possible Deontay Wilder was coming back. He was too far gone. Even if he would have landed punches, because I don't even know if he could have landed punches as slow as they were coming at that point. Even if he would have landed the punches, they had nothing left on him. He was a walking zombie. He was done. He's exactly what he said he was. He was a zombie in there because he was done. He had nothing left. And yes, if really would have thrown in that towel and that would have stretched out, say, for another round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, then maybe Deontay Wilder could have died in the ring. I don't know. But it's always a possibility in boxing. Whether it's professional or amateur, you know once you get in there, death is always a possibility. That's why when I used to fight, and I'll also say this, whenever Deontay Wilder said he wanted to catch a body, I didn't agree with that. But when I used to fight, my mindset was one thing. I want to kill this person before they kill me. Because I knew in the back of my mind that I could die in that ring. So when I got in there to fight somebody, I was trying to kill them. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Yes, it's a sport. Yes, it's a competition. No, I didn't really want to kill them, but I knew I could die. And because I knew I could die, I wanted to kill them first. So I tried to take them out and hurt them as quick as possible. So I understand that mindset. I just don't agree with wanting to have a body because nobody, unless you're a psychopath, nobody should want to kill somebody else, especially when you're doing it for a sport. It's not like the guy that you're boxing killed somebody in your family, raped somebody in your family. No, it's a competition. There's no reason to want to just hurt somebody like that that's done nothing to you other than try to win at the same sport you're trying to win with. And so I didn't agree with that statement, but I can understand the mindset. But he very well could have been killed in there. It is a possibility, and Breland very well could have saved his life. And I know from the sentiment I was getting from the video I was listening to, that was what he was going off of. I say they because his chat was with him. But that's what he was going with, that how are you going to fire the guy who saved your life? And my thing is this. If Deontay Wilder had a better training staff, then he would have never been in the position to have his life saved. So, yes, Breland cared for him. Yes, Breland threw in the towel for him. But at the same time, it was Breland's inability to actually train Wilder that put him in the situation of getting his brains beat in. So there's that aspect to look at too. Now, JD's. I don't understand why JD's is there. If anything, he should have got rid of JD's first and then Breland. Or if he did get rid of Breland first, JD should be coming soon after. Because the thing about it is, I know Wilder always talks about loyalty. But here's the thing. Here's the honest to God thing. The people that you're around are not being loyal to you. And what do I mean by that? How is JD not being loyal to him? Because here's the thing. If you, a responsible coach, a responsible trainer, if you see your guy just damn near lose his life in the ring, a towel had to come in to save him, and you don't have the responsibility to tell your fighter that, look, man, I've gotten you as far as I can take you. There's nothing more that I can do for you. I would love to stay here in your corner, but I think that you need somebody more experienced than me, somebody better than me. If you can't step to your fighter and say something like that, then you are not loyal to him. And by me saying that, if JD's not going to be man enough and loyal enough to tell Wilder, oh, I can't help you, I'm taking you as far as I can take you, then he's not loyal. And why should Wilder be loyal to somebody who's not truly loyal to him? See, that's where loyalty comes into play. And people don't think about it from that other aspect. So just because a guy leaves somebody doesn't mean that guy's not loyal. That trainer might not be loyal because he can't improve him. And he's trying to stick around, trying to get the money. And I feel like that's what JD's is doing. I don't feel like that's what Breland was doing. I feel like that's what JD's was doing. He was just riding the coattail, and he's been riding the coattail. And although he's called the main trainer, the main coach, I have my doubts of how much training he was actually doing over at Breland. I have an idea that Breland was probably, truthfully, the underground king, as they would say. He was the head coach behind the scenes, teaching Wilder everything that he tried to teach him, but it just didn't work out. So with all this being said is this. Do I agree with Mark Breland being fired? It depends. It depends on if he was fired because he couldn't teach Wilder. If Wilder felt like that he just was not learning under Breland, then yes, I agree with it. Now, if Wilder feels like Breland is a traitor and he didn't let him go out on the shield, and because he threw in the towel, that's why he got fired, then Wilder's a fucking idiot. Wilder's an idiot because Breland very well could have saved your life. I agree 1,000% what was being said. And it's true. Only an idiot would believe that Breland did not save his life. Very well saved his life. Like, I keep saying that. There's no getting around it. I know this video might be long, but I'm just talking because of the things that were said. You'd have to listen to the video when I came in to really get my point across on this video. So this might be a 20, 30-minute video like I'm doing a live. But the thing is this, to recap it all full circle. When I saw the second fight, I was on record stating that Breland needed to go, JD's needs to go. I know Breland is gone. JD's needs to go now. He needs to bring in a more in-your-face coach. I said Teddy Atlas, just because I know Teddy Atlas had people who were reckless like Mike Tyson. And he seemed to get through Mike Tyson. So if you can get through Mike Tyson when he was young, because we all saw what happened with Mike Tyson after he lost his whole training staff and went with Don King. If you could get through with a young Mike Tyson, you can more than likely get through with a Deontay Wilder. And the thing about Teddy Atlas is he's very in your face, very blunt. He's going to tell you what you don't want to hear, which is exactly what you need to hear. Now, the question is, can Wilder take somebody being that critical? I don't know, but I feel like that's what you need. You need somebody who's just as forward and aggressive as you are. And if somebody is more timid, you're not going to listen to them if you have that I'm the greatest thing on the planet mentality. I mean, he may still not listen to Teddy Atlas. I don't know. It could just be a Deontay Wilder thing, and Deontay Wilder's just not going to listen. And if that's the case, then again, when you start fighting these elite athletes like a Tyson Fury, you can only go so far off of raw talent. I've said this a million times, and I've had people disagree with me. I don't care how good a fighter is. This is coming from somebody who actually fought. I don't care how good your abilities are, how good your talent is. You're only going to get so far off your own abilities. In my opinion, a trainer is just as important, if not more important, than the fighter himself fighting in the ring, because they are the ones that give you the key to open the door. They are the ones that they put you in that success to where you can fight other people who may not be as good as you, but they're so close that if they have a better mind behind them, you're going to lose because of the better mind fueling them. And that's the thing about it. You can look at a guy like Floyd Mayweather Jr., why I think he is by far one of the best fighters to ever step in the ring. I wish Floyd Mayweather made better legacy moves versus money moves, because I would love to put Floyd Mayweather in my top 3 all-time greatest, because when I watch Floyd fight, it's beautiful. It's beautiful how good he fights. A lot of people used to call him boring. I used to look at Floyd and say, that's how I want to fight. That's how I want to fight, because Floyd, the nuances that he does in that ring it's so thought out. Everything he does is planned so far in advance that the people he's fighting can't keep up with the plan. And when he finds your flaws, he just calculates everything to those flaws, and his whole game just changes. He adapts so well in that ring that his mind proved that boxing is more mental than it is physical, because as long as you have the physical attributes to keep up with the other athletes around you, then your mind, or a mind telling you what to do, can separate you. And that's what you need. You need somebody who is smart enough to tell you what to work on, how to work on it. And when the fight's going on, if you don't see what's happening, they're smart enough to tell you what you're doing wrong, what you need to improve, and what the other fighter is doing wrong, and how you need to use it against them. That's why I believe trainers and coaches are just as important as the fighter, if not more. A smart mind will take you much further than just raw power. So again, with that being said, I want Deontay Wilder to win. And because I want Deontay Wilder to beat Tyson Fury, and I've said this multiple times, and I know a big majority of my fans, subscribers, do not like Deontay Wilder. And I'll say that because I've never been biased and I've never pandered to anybody. I just call it how I see it. I did not like how Tyson Fury kept choking Deontay Wilder time after time after time after time again in that second fight. It's fine. You want to do dirty tactics while the fight's going on, that's cool. I have no issues with that. But when you've got a guy done and he has nothing left and you're still doing the same dirty tactics when you've already won the fight, the guy stands zero chance of winning, then I have a very big issue with you. I have a huge issue. And because Tyson Fury repeatedly did dirty tactics after Wilder was already defeated, he lost me as a fan. And because of that, I really want to see Deontay Wilder win. When I saw Deontay Wilder lose in that second fight, I watched the heart of a champion. I watched a guy who never gave up. I watched a guy, it didn't matter how bad he was mauled, how bad he was being destroyed. It didn't matter how big the dent in the side of his head was. He never gave up. Even when the towel was thrown across the ring, he was in the middle of throwing a punch because he never gave up. That's a hard thing to find, somebody with that much determination to win that will take that type of ass whooping and not stop fighting. That is why Deontay Wilder won me over as a fan. See, the problem with boxing is everybody thinks the zero is the most important thing. And to me, it's not. It's never been. To me, the most important thing is seeing somebody fight the other fighters that are at their best when they're at their best, or the other best when they're at the best. That's what I like to see. I like seeing the best fight the best when they're at their best. Not when they're coming down, not when they're coming up, but when they're at their pinnacle, when they hit the peak. I like to see them fight. And Deontay Wilder, to me, has that type of heart to where I don't believe he was running from AJ. I really don't. I'll say it. I know people that disagree with me, but I think at the end of the day, it was a PBC matchroom thing. I don't think the two fighters are scared of each other, because if you could take the type of ass whooping that Deontay Wilder took and keep pushing forward, you're not scared to fight anybody. You're not. Because if you were scared, if you had that coward in you, he would have folded, and he didn't. So again, I restate, I want Deontay Wilder to beat Tyson Fury. I would love for him to come out there and knock out Tyson Fury. I would love to see it. I would love for it to be a quick night. Hell, to add to that, to be honest with you, I would actually love to see Deontay Wilder get in there and outbox Tyson Fury, do the unspeakable, the unthinkable, and get in there and be able to outbox him. I would love to see that. I would love it. And the only way that I see him doing that is by getting rid of Mark Breland and getting rid of Deontay Wilder. That is why I agree with Mark Breland leaving the camp. And I think Deontay Wilder, if you do not get rid of JDs as well, you're foolish and it's a mistake. You need to get you in guys who are well-versed, who have trained multiple champions and can teach you, because you need to learn. You're fighting a guy that it doesn't matter how strong you are, how hard you hit. You're fighting a guy that's good enough where it's not going to work. He's proven it. Sorry, guys, I'm getting over a cold. I normally don't talk this long. You're fighting a guy who's fought you twice, who showed you on two different occasions that your power doesn't mean shit, that you're going to have to come more within just power. And that's why, again, I'll end on this so it doesn't go on for an hour. Again, that's why I state, I believe Deontay Wilder needs a new coaching staff. To recap what I said, although I just said I would recap. I know I ramble, guys. I agree with Mark Breland being fired if the fact was he was fired on the inability to teach. If Deontay Wilder fired him because he threw in the towel and he didn't go out on his shield, then Deontay Wilder, you, sir, are a fucking idiot, and you deserve to lose that third fight if that is the reason. So it was either a good decision or a bad decision. Nobody really knows unless Mark Breland comes out and speaks on it, or Deontay Wilder comes out and speaks on it of why they separated ways. Other than that, that's really all I've got to say. This video went much longer than I thought it would. And Black, bro, I like your channel, dude. This ain't about me. This ain't about you. We disagree. I don't know what to say. All I can tell you, bro, personally is, again, I'm not saying that racist stuff does not exist, because it does, and you would be foolish not to say that. But I don't know if this is what that decision is based on. When I look at it, I see a trainer who really hasn't taught Deontay Wilder anything from his first pro fight to him losing to Tyson Fury the second time. Like, his entire career, he's looked the same. He hasn't really improved. Really, truthfully, he's almost looked like he's gotten worse as the years have gone on, technically. So I think it's a smart move. But let me know what y'all think. Hit up the comment section if you made it this far, because I know this was long and I know I was talking. And I'm going to be honest, I was talking this long because, Black, you made a statement that you would think that. Like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? I would think that. Because that right there was insinuating something, and I'm still trying to rectify and have that clarified why I would agree with it. When I, months ago, in fact, I think after the first Tyson Fury defeat, I said that he needed to get rid of Breland and JD's. So this isn't like something I just created because he just got fired. I've been saying this for a very long time. So again, I don't know what was trying to be insinuated there, but if you make it this far, Black, I would like to know. But other than that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Dislike the video, give it a thumbs down. If you really like the video, subscribe to the channel, because that is what helps me out the most. And when you sub to the channel, hit that notification bell. That way you can get updated when I drop the newest content like this. And don't forget to hit up that comment section and let me know what y'all think. Thank y'all again for watching.